Hi everyone and welcome to this new video tutorial. I am Aryan and today we are going to create this table of content card with Bricks Builder and AutomaticCSS. AutomaticCSS is not necessary to follow this tutorial, but it actually speeds up the development process. So if you want to know more about it, check the description of this video to see my setup. So let's start right away. First of all, let's check the design very carefully, and as you can see on mobile, everything is adapting very well. I'm not going to make much of design work. I'm going to recreate the structure so that you can design it yourself later. So let's hop on Bricks Builder. First of all, we need to click on the plus button, okay, to create our section, and then click on the container. And with the container selected, we can add actually a small card. So click on this plus button and add a block this time. Great. With the block selected, we can now start adding our elements. And if you check the design, it's pretty simple. We have this, that is the title, so I can copy it actually, and then, plus button, just search for heading, and I'm going to paste in the text, and then again we have this other text here with the heading selected. We can plus button now and also add a rich text. Click on it. Great. Another thing that I would add, it's a divider. So plus button, search for divider, and here you are. So now we have our elements set up inside of our block. You need to make sure that all the elements is inside of the block, right? Now, as you can see, I did not really done a great job here. I had to select the block first, but you can drag and drop it under the heading in this way. Great. With the block selected, I want to call it with another name. You can click BAM if you're using AutomaticCSS, or you can add the class manually by typing here and adding the name and just press enter and he will save it. I will use, to go faster, BAM, and instead of block, I will call it, just to make it unique, WP block. And then I will call it like chapter card. Okay, apply classes, and now as you can see on the left, I have my classes applied also to the child ones, as you can see here. Okay, so with the block chapter selected, click on the class to add it to the class, so you need to be yellow. Let's go on row gap, click on here, and with AutomaticCSS, in my case, I'm going to use a preset of spacing. You can use pixel, whatever, and let's see, I can go like this and I can go like that. So what I don't really like here is that the spacing is evenly, okay, for every element. So let's put those heading and those text on the same div. So right click on the heading, wrap into a div, and then open the div, click on text, and just drag and drop it here, okay, so that now the div is separated from the divider. Also, I will click again BAM here to add our class to the div that we just added, right? Okay, so now the div also have his own class, and we can click on it, and then instead of block, we can do flex, and of course select direction vertical, and on row gap, I would go and add some spacing. XS would be great, and then I will click the block, and here on block, I will add my other spacing, so row gap, and you can add, a row gap here, like I would go with the M this time, and we have our structure. Cool. So now let me check the design. As you can see from the design, anyway, the title is very small, the text is very small, and the divider is actually gray. So let's try to reproduce this very quickly. Click on the title, of course, class, then go on style, typography, font size. I will go with maybe a M. Okay, I will click on the text now. And the text color will be changed. I will use a neutral color. Okay, it's a little bit gray. And then on font size, I will make it smaller. Okay, I would go with an S in this case. It's very small. Maybe you can make it bigger if you want. To make it bigger, I usually do a calculation like calc, parentheses, and then I would multiply 1.2 maybe, and close it. Okay, and it's a little bit bigger. And okay, so we done this. We can change also the divider. It's hard to get it from here, so I highly suggest to get it from here, from the structure. And again, open the class, color, right click, and go on neutral. Or you can even go with a lighter color if you want, but you know, for the purpose of this tutorial, I will keep it like that. Okay. So let me check again the divider. Doesn't really, oh yeah, because I actually made a mistake. It's not here, but you need to go on content, and on content you have the color of the divider. So that's my mistake. Let's see how it looks now. It's a little bit gray, but we don't see it very much. So let me try something lighter. Maybe neutral light. Okay, looks better. Great. Done that. Okay, now we need to actually fix the width of it, and we can very easily do in this way. So close everything here on a structure to have everything in order. Select the container here. Okay, with the container selected, go on style. Then search for layout tab and width. I'm going to change it to something smaller. I can keep an L. Okay. Let me check the design. Okay, it's a little bit, you know, smaller. You can use a calculation here again, like variation. I can calculate this and just calc, and you know, you can divide it if you want for a value. Let's say I want to divide it for 1.2, or in this case 1.4, or just 1. Let's try 1.2 again. Okay, 1.2 looks good. If I get here, looks a little bit, yeah, it looks good. And let's say now that I want some border and padding, right? So to do that, you need to select again, keep selecting the container, okay? Then go on not layout but background, and here on background color, I would go with a very light color. To show the shades, you can just mouse over and it gives you some shades that you can see directly on the layout. And maybe the most similar would be this color here. Okay, as you can see. And now we also need to add some padding by going on layout and double click on this one. So 1 and 2. And now I can right click and add a spacing. Let's go with S. And as you can see now, we made the first structure, right? And here we have the block, okay, that we could duplicate if we want. Let's duplicate it twice just to see how it looks. And as you can see, the problem here now is the spacing between the two cards, right? And to fix that, just click again on the container and go on content, and on row gap, change it to something like M. And as you can see now, it looks fantastic. So let's say I want to add a few more elements. You can just duplicate it okay? And one thing that you could do, let's say the last line, you don't really want it, okay? This could be done with CSS, but you can also click on the divider and just, without clicking this, because I want that, you know, the effect gets on here, you can actually change the color if you want to something transparent, or go on style, layout, and just tell him like display, visibility here. You can tell him to be hidden, and now it disappears, right? And if you don't want the spacing that he's causing, you can also change this to collapse. Actually, the spacing stays, I guess, because of the padding we have. But anyway, you know, you can use those to actually hide the element or whatever. Okay, I will keep it hidden this time. I don't think you see the changing of the spacing when you do collapse, because it's actually taking 1 pixel of height. I guess that's the reason. Anyway, keep it on hidden, and now we have our structure. You can change the text as you wish. Another thing that we could do now is to actually add a title, right? Because here on the design we have this title here, and also I noticed that there is a border, a very, very thin border, and the rounded corners. Let's do that right away. So click again on the container. With the container selected, go on border, click on border here, click once here, and then here you can add a really slight border. We could use an XS, okay? Also, if you want that little border, that little effect, style and solid, okay? And with solid selected, we can change the color of the border. So you can click here and basically go here and just choose, you know, a border color. I will try to do something a little bit stronger, just, you know, to show the difference. Let's try with of 60%. Okay, so let me click away, and as you can see now we have the border, right? Okay, so it looks really great. Done that, let's add our our title. So close this container, maybe go on section and just click plus button, and then go on container. Okay, he will add a container here. Just take this container, drag it at the top. Okay, now we have the container at the top, and with plus button, add a heading. Okay, select the heading, go on typography, and here on the heading you can change the font size, and you can put it on the center. Nothing is happening, but we will be changing this in a moment. You can change the color. Let's get also the content. So I'm going to click here, content, and just, you know, paste tables of content, and yeah, select the container now, and on the options just put it here, align cross axis on the center, and then go on section here and just say row gap, set row gap to XS, S or M or whatever, or just use pixel, EM, whatever you want. So I'm going with the M in this case. And as you can see, we created our table of contents very quickly. So if I get on tablet, looks great. On mobile landscape, looks great. On mobile, looks amazing, and I did not do anything. So everything is adapting, is fully responsive. So the last step is actually adding this button here, a link button with this icon. And it's really fast and quick. Just click on section, plus button, and choose container. Here on section, I'm not sure why he added a new container outside of it, but you can drag and drop it here and click the container. With the container selected, you can add a text link. Again, it's adding the text link outside of the section, but you can drag and drop it inside of the container. And now we have the text link into the container. So by selecting the text link, we are going to change it, okay, to get free chapter and icon. Click on it, change it to something else. That could be an arrow, for example, like this one is very similar to the one on the design, and then change the position to right. And of course, on style, typography, you can click on center. With that done, go on container, and container selected, content, and just make sure align cross axis is centered. And now we have our button here, okay? If you click again on the button, you can add a link to, and you can use an internal page, external URL, media, whatever. Most of the case could be an external URL or internal. I'm going to external. And as you can see now, it changed the color because in my settings, I set it up all the links to be this color here. Okay, it's the default color of AutomaticCSS. So you can change that basically going on the theme settings and change the links color. Great, so I hope the tutorial was useful. Like button to help me out reaching more people, and of course, if you have any question, comment below and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye.